And before we go into the second part of the podcast, let's take a deep breath in and a slow exhale. And let's have a small glimpse of the second part of this episode.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, I feel like coming to this state of being and experience and how I want to make use of my life, of this time I have, I feel like bursting. What resides here within is an endless possibility. I feel that's been my master's degree. Just knowing how to handle pain and transform it away. How we communicate things is what makes or breaks someone. Honestly, I feel like coming to this state of being and experience and how I want to make use of my life, of this time I have, I feel like bursting. But then again, just going one step at a time, taking it like going with the ease of life is very important. So whoever is receptive will find me, and of course I will reach out to whoever needs my help. But I really wish for people to just let a door open for life and give themselves the chance to live without any boundaries of what they can do, how they can be, because I myself am the living proof that all those things that the mind tells you are lies, and what resides here within is an endless possibility. So I just want them to experience this. And I hope they will let me in.
Sure, I'm sure.
How it is, and I know what you said in the beginning is so true, and that's what motivated me to go for it at this point as well, that with these lockdowns and with this new way of living that's becoming a reality now, all these addictions and all these disorders, and however we want to call them, they're going to become more and more severe. We're being isolated from one another in so many ways, so we're going to be in our own bubbles even more, and that's not good. So let's stay connected and just be true to the truth that we are still united. And
truthful living, I find it so it's really touching, because the way that you talk and speak about it is very vulnerable, very open, expressing the pain that you had to go through, but in a way that is really powerful, because now it's also giving people the opportunity or another perspective on it, that you can come out of it. There's always a possibility. And actually, I don't have it right now here, but I'm reading a book. It's called Dopamine. And it talks about many different kinds of addictions, and how people really lose the sense of balance in life, because they're so what happens is there is a correlation between pain and pleasure. And if you have, of course, there's a difference between inner pleasure which is created from within. I mean, all the pleasure is created from within, but sometimes we seek outside sources to feel that pleasure. And so the more we seek outside sources to feel the pleasure, which is the basis is watching a sunset, that can give us a great pleasure, to having food and having like a meal. But then nowadays it's like it's a continuous flow of pleasure, which is being on the phone, activating those hormones, and then having very sugary foods, for example, and then smoking, drinking, gaming, all like a lot of things that we do on a daily basis, but now we do it so much that it's kind of like this, and so the pain has to bounce back. And as a society, as a generation, that we've become much less pain bearable, like how much pain we can handle. We are not able to handle the pain anymore. We're always seeking for something to not feel the pain. And because everything is so easily available, it's also very easy to not feel it in that specific moment. But it always backlashes. It always backlashes. And to find that balance, I like listening to you. It's incredible because from where you've come to where you are right now, that's a long journey, and I'm sure that just because you have made that experience, just because you went through that, there's so much wisdom in it. And I remember you sharing that that pain can be your greatest teacher or your greatest wisdom.
Yeah. I loved what you said again. So beautiful, true, and powerful. Thank you for sharing what you were reading. That was so amazing and so true. Like it brought so much clarity to whatever I wanted to express before also. And another thing I wanted to say in regards to that, to the pain, and what I'm doing is that I feel that's been my master's degree.
And if you're enjoying this episode, then please make sure to share it with at least one person that you feel needs to hear this. And if you're on YouTube, then also make sure to leave us a like and a comment as to your biggest takeaway from this episode.
Just knowing how to handle pain and transform it. So that's why I feel so open to this, to doing this kind of work with people, even though I know what's happening with them is very painful. And most people would try to avoid dealing with that because it's very difficult to process. But I've been there in the worst possible ways, and nothing can make me suffer it anymore. Like I'm so established in my way of being now that no pain can tremble this. So I'm offering this to actually take their pain. Like the saying goes, I want to take your pain away. Literally, that's what I want to do in a sense. Not that I can do it, their life themselves will do it for them if they just open up, let me in just to guide them through the darkness in a way, because it is a very dark place. But yes, processing the pain, facing it, feeling it to the core is something that most people try to avoid and distract themselves from it, but it only grows bigger, bigger, and bigger. Like the saying goes, what we resist persists, but what we see clearly, it disappears. So we need to see it clearly. We need to see the source of it, where it's coming from, and only then we can. It will hear from our experience. So yes, I definitely want to be a channel for that.
Wow. What did you find was helping you? So you mentioned meditation. When let's say, once you make the first steps to not continuing the cycle, to not use for example throwing up as a way to release, but you use different methods as a way to release. For me, the one thing which is coming up very strongly is communication. And especially when you say, like in this example, something is coming out, something wants to come out, and you're forcing yourself for it to come out. And then after that, you feel actually good. So I feel like the method which you are also making use of is communication. And that's kind of also what I found in just the last month. It's been really powerful, just opening myself up to another person through communicating whatever it is that I'm feeling.
Absolutely true. Communication is extremely important and powerful. if done in the proper way, how we communicate things is what makes or breaks someone in a vulnerable state. When it comes to, like I said, I got the idea to do this from what I saw on the television when I was little. Another thing I witnessed some months ago, which really made me go even more for this. I saw this video of Lady Gaga, and I have nothing against her, but she's an amazing artist. But just saying it as it is. It was a live concert, and she had this other lady with her on the stage. She was literally drinking from a bottle with a green. Initially, it was a green liquid, a thick liquid, and then it was a dark, like very dark brown, black something, another liquid. She was drinking from it and then stimulating, throwing up what she was drinking on top of Lady Gaga. And that was insane to witness. What I saw, I'm like, what the hell is going on? This thing, when teenagers see these things, in their minds, this is normal to do. Lady Gaga does it. Maybe Lady Gaga interprets it like she's raised in awareness. But if you do it in a way which, like a sport, like stimulating it, drinking and stimulating it right there on stage, and then feeling great about it, like if you do it like that, that's what you are promoting. You're not raising awareness. We have to actually see what it is. And the way we communicate things through sound, through visuals, through all the means is very, very important. So yes, the communication is key in this sense.
Wow, yes, so true. That's one thing that in the beginning I said that I want to talk about later is because eating disorder, which is about food, and the availability of food is just incredible. Like one thing which I noticed recently is whenever I get mail to the house from any kind of grocery store, the front page is always, Coke and sugary food. So, like recovering from any kind of like specifically food addiction, but also other addictions, and in this case, eating disorder. It seems to be even more difficult because all the time we're being reminded of of the pleasure that we're getting from certain foods, and it's exactly what you said, like the media, and you're always surrounded by it, and then people showing you that it's fine, it's normal, don't worry about it, everybody does it.
It's economics. They're doing business with our lives.
Yes.
So there's only profit if they can damage the body and then offer you a pill. Selling you twice and then thrice and endlessly, they're selling to us. So it makes sense in an economic sense, but not a life sense. Hello? Okay, you froze for a moment.
Okay. Yes, no, but it makes sense in an economic sense, not in a life sense. Yes, absolutely. We have to understand that society is also not always working in our benefit, like that society is not always benefiting us. Yes. It's not always working in our favor, That's, yeah.
And this is another huge thing to mention also, like what you just said, because to be in a society, we need to know how to be as an individual first. Because most people identify as being part of a crowd. If it's a crowd, you're gone with the crowd. If the crowd goes to hell, you're going to hell, and whatever happens to the crowd. But needing to be an individual, to take responsibility as an individual is very, very important.
Yeah, realizing that there's always a choice. Even if we choose to do what everybody else does, it's still a choice, and not giving up the responsibility because everybody else does it. So it's not my responsibility if something bad happens to me because everybody else also did it, But that's also where comparison kicks in. It's like, another person can smoke. Why can't I smoke? They didn't get cancer. I won't get cancer. Like, it's this kind of just comparing.
Absolutely. And also this push and pull phenomenon I've witnessed with drugs and alcohol and like so many things. Initially they're banned, like they're illegal and stuff. They make you crave them so much, and then they make them legal, and then everybody goes for them. Like initially they make us want it so bad by keeping it away from us, and then they give it to us freely, and then everybody loses it. Just no sense of centeredness. What do we really want? Do we really want that which is being held from us and then is being given to us, or do we really know what we want and not be influenced by whatever games they're playing?
Whatever the trend is. Yeah. Wow. Well, I am like full of wow, that was so good to hear all of this. It's incredible. So much value. So much, like, again, vulnerable, like being vulnerable, being open about this, communicating your experience, sharing. Wow. Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to point out, to share? Where can people reach out to you? Where can they find you?
Thank you for asking this. So for now, I'm still like, I was talking with Robert, with my coach, one day, and he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to create this webinar and I want to do this." And then he was like, "Why aren't you doing it?" "Well, but I have to do this and this and this." Like I was mentioning all the logistics of it. And he was like, "So you're telling me that because you haven't done that, you can't do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you got me." For now, I'm going for what I actually want to do, and I've let a little the logistics behind. So for now, people can reach out to me through social media, like Facebook, Instagram. I'll keep updating them on whatever I'm creating. I'll definitely create more ways for them to reach out and like structure my work and do all that work, which I'm not so good at, the technological part, but I will learn and I will do it. But definitely they can reach out to me on social media. I'll put an email or something also. And then definitely also a phone number at some point I will make available. But for now, social media is the channel for them to reach out to me. And I just wanted to thank you with all my heart for the possibility to have this conversation. And thank you for the wonderful questions that you asked, which allowed to dig so deep into this matter. So grateful. Thank you so much.
Thanks. It was really wonderful to connect. Yes, thank you.